You not ready? Hey, y'all.
What's going on? Got some people get into the room.
Yes. Who's ever here, say hey so we know that you're here. And let us know. Sound check, sound check. How do we sound? Hey, whoever else just came in, say hey. Let us know that you're here. It's been a minute, like a minute. It went by so fast. Like these past 5 months. Haven't even felt like 5 months. Anybody here? Let us know. Let us know so we can get this thing rolling. 4 people, hey y'all, whoever on here, let us know that you here. Say hey. Kayla, where y'all been? I don't even know. Like these past 5 months, hey L Danielle was a blur. So when I got on the other day and I was like, Terrell, it's been like almost 6 months since we posted something. Like, yeah. Sorry about that, y'all.
So yeah, we'll give you an update about what we've been doing and all that good stuff in a few.
Okay. So today we're going to be talking. Well, first of all, today is a Q&A. Don't forget. So if you have questions, you can ask your questions. Just pop them in and we'll answer them as we go along. Hey D. So just let us know whatever questions y'all have. Y'all can go ahead and start typing them in, and then we'll answer them as we go. But today's live is just basically about how has Mexico been? Did it meet our expectations? Just in general, how has it been? Because I know we did like a 1 year update, but literally that was almost 6 months ago.
And for the new people, I think we just need to update them because we only come on here every so often, so we drop in and out of town.
But it's gonna change.
Harley home, but always rapping.
It's gonna change.
But in November 2019 or 2020. We did the first.
2020.
November 2020. We came over here to do the first initial test to see if we could do it. Then January 20 something, 2021, we made the move, and it wasn't a move. It was only supposed to be for 6 months. But if you do the math, it was a lot longer than 6 months.
3.
Yeah.
So then we moved here. D, I'm gonna answer your question in just a second. So then we moved here. Hey. And we started off in an Airbnb, which honestly, we've learned a lot along the way. So in the Airbnb, we were working out this deal, with the Airbnb host outside of Airbnb. Okay, we're gonna stay here for I think it was
we stayed a month.
Yeah.
You snitching?
No? I'm snitching?
No, I don't know. We already did it, so.
Who I'm snitching? Oh, I guess we are kind of snitching. Oh yeah. Anyway, so through Airbnb, we worked out a deal. I think it was 20,000 pesos a month.
Something like that.
Which is 1,000 USD. It was a 4 or 5 bedroom house with 5.5 bathrooms with a pool. Actually, we did a video on that house. That was the Airbnb that we did a video on. So you can go back. I think it was part 2, the house tour. So if you want to see that house, that's what we worked out a deal on. But again, we had just got here. We didn't even know what we had. We had housekeeping 3 times a week. She would cook for us sometimes, included. And that means we didn't have to pay electric bills, nothing, just a flat rate. Again, we didn't know what we had at the time. So we started just I don't know what made us move. We just, I don't know. I think we were just so ready to finally find a place of our own, but honestly, that could have been our own place. But anyways,
yeah, we could have stayed there.
So that's how I kind of started. We moved from there. We went to a hotel for a little bit, and we were traveling around Mexico at the time as well. And after that, we got our first place. It was just like an apartment. We was like, we just gonna get this place.
The plan with the apartment was to use it for a stash spot. So just leave our stuff and be able to like balance it in terms of having a place to come back to, but still be able to travel around Mexico. We did that apartment for what, like 3 months?
We moved out in like the July, I think the end of June, because we celebrated Naja's birthday there. So the end of June, and we moved there in like
we did like
February.
We did like 3 or 4 months, right?
Like 4 months.
4 months.
So like 4 months, we stayed in this apartment, and again, like our whole idea, you know, everybody like, I want to come to Mexico. I want to, you know, travel cheap. I want to live cheap. So the apartment was about 17,000 pesos a month, which is equivalent to like $800.
$750, I think. Back then it was like $750.
Now it'll be like $800 some because of the exchange rate. So it was like $800 a month. We was like, okay, cool. We have this apartment, and you know, we can still travel as long as we have a place to leave our bags. So that was like the original plan. Okay, y'all don't know us, but we be getting antsy. The apartment, it was 3 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms. Yeah, 3 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms. So it was a nice apartment with a washer and dryer, nice size. But we started being like, what's next? Y'all, stop slamming the door. Sorry. We started saying like, what's next? Because that apartment started feeling a little tight after a while. Yeah. And just like other things.
It had a few issues too.
Yeah.
Like maintenance issues and
Not bad.
Not bad.
We heard some horror stories, you know. So it wasn't bad, but it was like
little things.
Yeah, little things. So I'm gonna tell you. But what else?
And then from there,
we traveled.
We traveled some more. We moved out. We traveled some more.
Costa Rica. We went to Costa Rica. We went back to the U.S. to work on our residency. And so everything kind of went hand in hand. We did our residency, and then after that,
So just to bring you up on the time frame, so we traveled around a little bit. We did, after we moved out the apartment, we did hotels in Merida. I think of maybe a few Airbnbs, and then it was time for us to go back and reset our visa. So we went back to reset our visa and
reset the visa / we just got our residency.
Yeah, we went back, but we had to leave. It was 180 days.
Yeah.
That was September?
August, I think.
August,
or
September.
July, because we went to Costa Rica first and then we went to.
Yeah, so August, we went back to Atlanta. We did the visa process and became a temporary resident. So if anyone has any questions about that, we can give you our experience. Remember, everything changes every day. So I always like to say the truth as of now.
Yeah.
So make sure you do your own research. But after we got the visa, we came back. And one thing that we learned after traveling around at different spots, based on our family and what we were looking for, like Merida was the place that we wanted to kind of put our stakes down in Mexico. So that's what we did. So we started looking for a house, and then we've been in this house for, since October.
Since October of last year.
Yeah.
And so now we're just deciding, like, what do we want to do next? So that's the real question. And that's kind of like where this video came from. Like, now that we are at the point, because, you know, after a year, you can either extend your lease. If you're renting a house, extend your lease, or, you know, break your lease and go somewhere else. So we're kind of like, what should we do? Should we go somewhere else in Mexico? Should we stay in Merida? Or should we go to a whole nother country? And that's, again, what this video is about. You know, like, how has Mexico met our expectations? Like, do we see ourselves still staying here? Or are we, like, over it? You know? Okay, but let's answer the question first. How much do you think a family of 4 should save to relocate to Mexico?
My answer to that would be, like, what is your? It's dependent on the family. So you can come over here. You can probably, for a family of 4, you can probably get an apartment for, depending on what you're looking for. You can go as low as.
How many bedrooms do you need? Because then that kind of give an idea of, like, I mean, which it can range from like a $400 place to like a $1,500 place. But like, how many bedrooms do you think you'll need for your family of four? Because that kind of determines too, like if you can do an apartment or do you need a house? Because a house is sometimes going to cost more. They have luxury like apartments and townhouses and different things.
Yeah.
But how many bedrooms do you need? That can kind of give us a little bit. We can help you a little bit about that. But one thing for sure to remember when you come here, as far as like how much you should save, like the expenses up front, for sure, you're gonna have to pay whatever your rent is. Like, let's just say, make this easy.
And so it's a few routes you can take. You could take the route of, all right, we're gonna stay in an Airbnb or a hotel, which kind of decreases your expenses up front.
But they still gonna need money for a place.
Oh, I'm saying, like, you don't have to pay a deposit. You don't have to.
But they will.
For a hotel?
After they move back to the hotel.
Oh, no, I'm saying you can set it up. Listen to what, follow me. So you can set it up to where you stay in an Airbnb or a hotel for the duration that you're here. And that's depending on how long you plan on staying. If you plan on staying for 3 to 6 months, that's an option too. But if you plan on moving to an apartment or a house, you are going to have some upfront costs that you need to pay for.
Yeah. Okay. So I was saying, let's just say your rent is $500. So you have to pay the $500 plus two deposits equal to $500. So that's already $1,500. Plus, you have to pay your like the notary fee, which is like the attorney who's gonna be there, who's gonna write the contract and be present while everybody signs. Now it depends on where you go. Sometimes I say it's like half of the rent. So let's just say it's half of the rent. So that's $250. So now you already at $1,750, like just to enter into a house. Like that's just enter. That doesn't include like internet. Usually they keep the electricity in the owner's name, so you don't have to worry about that. What other and this is saying if you got a furnished house, so you don't have to worry about furniture.
Everybody's different, so I think we should just keep it at the basics. So electricity and all that stuff, that's kind of gonna come a little later. But another thing that you might have to pay for would be gas if the gas runs out.
Yeah, and those are things you should negotiate. Take a note of that before you even sign your contract. Make sure they fill the gas. Make sure the electricity bill is paid, or whenever it's due. Read the meter and see what the meter says the day you move in, so that you don't pay anything past that amount.
Another thing we negotiated, they wanted to give us like 15 days for any issues that occur, because in Mexico, once you rent a house, anything that happens to the house that's not a part of the foundation, like pipes or whatever. So if an AC goes out, if a light goes out, of course you have to pay for it. Like, it's not like in the States whenever you rent a house where the landlord is going to take care of a lot of the things. Like, you're going to have to pay for that yourself once that warranty period is over. So we negotiated 30 days, which worked out for us.
Yeah, well. Actually, they tried to say 0. They tried not to even give it to us. So I think we ended up negotiating like 15. So
whenever you get at the table with the notary, that's your time to kind of like, all right, don't feel pressure. Don't be forced into signing something that doesn't benefit you. So that's your point to kind of put pressure and get that document reworded so that you don't end up having to pay a lot of extra money either fixing something or moving to another spot and losing your deposit.
Yeah, and that's another thing. So something which with the first time we signed the contract, we need to make a whole video about that entire experience, everything we learned. But how do we find the notary?
Normally the person that's renting the house, they're going to recommend a notary that they want to use. So they normally recommend where they want to go.
But with the first property, we were going to. I forgot why we ended up not doing it. Like our realtor had recommended a notary that was least expensive than the one that they had We didn't go with that one.
No,
I don't know why we didn't go with that one, but for some reason we didn't. But that's an option too. Like you can find your own notary because you're paying for it. So if you find somebody that's cheaper or someone that you know, like that's an option as well. Like they weren't trying to fight us when our realtor said that, you know, hey, I have my own notary that's cheaper. They didn't say anything. They already have the paperwork. They just want it done and signed, and the notary actually files it with the city.
Some.
I think they file it with the city, and then you get a copy.
But to answer your question, so up front, if you get an apartment that's $500, you can already plan on spending. If you get a house or an apartment for $500, you can already plan on coming out of pocket for like $1,750.
And that's
to get in the house. That's not counting anything that may go wrong or any life thing, any things that you need to make yourself comfortable.
But it does include your first month rent. You pay your first month rent up front. So that's one thing to know. That first month is included in that $1,750. But outside of that, the 2 deposits are deposits. And when you move out, they can or cannot give it back to you. A lot of people say they don't. Our experience with our first place is that they allowed us, even though we broke the contract, we lost 1 deposit, but they let us use the last month
to cover that.
For the second deposit covered the last month, so we didn't have to pay rent like the last month before we left. But in this house, they was like, but the deposit don't cover the rent, so whatever. So we'll just have to wait on them to give it back. Oh, I was going to say, the one thing that we made sure that we did was put in the contract how many days they had to return our deposit.
Yeah, that wasn't. Whenever you do see the contract here, a lot of times the contract is very vague and it's not as detailed as the ones that we're used to in the States. So it would benefit you. They're probably going to send it to you a day before, the day of, depending on how things are working. Both times that we signed the lease, I think we got one the day before, like the night before, like 10. Yeah. And then we got one the morning of, I think. So that's just something to plan for. But whenever you get it, make sure that you read through it with the person that you're working with your realtor. And we recommend that you do go in it with the realtor that can speak Spanish and kind of knows what's going on in Merida.
Well, that's another thing. When you're doing a legal document, you're required to have a translator there anyway. So find a translator that you trust that can translate on your behalf. But okay, so we went all the way down there from one house question. So our expectations of Merida. So moving to Merida, okay, 3-bedroom. Okay, before we go there, let's just finish this question. So
how much? I think we answered.
We can use, because we had a 3-bedroom apartment with 3 bathrooms. For let's just say $750. So that'll just be an extra $250, $500, $750 plus $750, 001789651. So $2,500, like just in upfront costs, like not including like food, anything else, just for housing itself. If your place costs $750, D, you would need at least $2,500, like just to, pay for the contract, pay your first month's rent, and 2 deposits. So $2,500, like straight out. So for sure, at least, like just to save to move here, I would say at least $5,000. That's at least sure. Probably at least double that, but at least $5,000 to start off with. That way, if something happens, you can still pay your rent. You can still eat. I don't know how much your family eats, but depending on where you shop at, you won't have as big as a bill as long as you're not going to places like Costco all the time, or shopping at Walmart, the U.S. name brand stores. Then you can find things. So
I think in Mexico, like you can kind of turn the hose up or down based on like what you're willing to do or what you want to do. So. Yeah. If you go to the local spots and things like that, like you can definitely decrease your cost. But if you stay in the spots where a lot of the expats are, you get those higher prices. So your cost of living is going to be higher. So if you're eating at Texas Roadhouse,
because because those prices it's the same U.S. prices here. It's not cheaper to go to places like McDonald's or Texas Roadhouse or KFC. Those places cost the same amount. Some places cost even a little bit more.
Yeah, the import tax and convenience or whatever.
So you can really adjust your lifestyle based on your budget. I think that's the most beautiful thing about living in Merida. You literally can go and shop at, like, I don't know, big name brand store, or you can tone it down and shop like at the Mercado or at the Tienda, the fruterias, the place where you can get the fruits for like super cheap. So anyway, so you can do that. So you're able to like gauge your expenses, even the type of place. Like you might want to stay more on the local side. Then your house won't cost $750. Like it would be like half of that. Yeah. So it really depends on what you want for yourself. I'm moving with a 5-year-old daughter to Mexico. I love you. Thank you for watching. We're gonna have more content.
Oh yeah. Whenever you come, they can. I'm not in the group, but they have a mom's group. Mm-hmm. So they have it pop.
When are you moving? Are you moving soon? Because you can hit us up on Instagram and I'll send you the link to the mom's group if you're coming soon. Yeah, I think they put like a limitation now, like you got to be moving within like
it can't be
3 or 6 months, something like soon, and they'll add you. But just hit us up. Yeah, I just got added. Oh, okay. There you go. In August. Oh, so you'll be here soon. Okay. Hopefully we get to see you so we can connect, with our daughter and your daughter. Just let us know.
And speaking of that, like one expectation that I don't think that we truly understood, like what was available is.
Yeah, let's go back to that. Okay.
Is the sense of the community in Merida in terms of like the expat community. So
yeah,
I would say that's definitely one thing that I enjoy, being able to kind of still dabble in the culture that we're used to in the States.
The culture is big, like having that, like when you missing it, sometimes you don't even know you missing it, but you just get so like submerged.
Whenever you want to play some spades or some dominoes.
Yeah. So you have somebody, you have a group of people that you can do that with, that you can connect with and just, feel that little piece of home. So I don't think my expectation was that high. Like I knew, it was available, it was here. And I think the more like people come, you really get to see like, okay, like we really out here.
And you have people from all over, West Coast, East Coast, down south. So it's definitely easy to build a tribe based on like-minded people like you. We begin Jamaica. I'm Jamaica.
Seasonings, okay.
We had some banging jerk chicken here though.
Yeah. So the seasonings, the people that I've seen that's from Jamaica, they can't find the seasonings that they like here. So I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, you're gonna have to bring your seasonings with you for sure, like 100% for sure.
And the way that people get around that is if somebody's going back to the States, they just tell them, hey man, bring me back some jerk seasoning or some seasoned salt. I think we can get seasoned salt here though.
Yeah, you can get seasoned salt here.
Some special sauces though that you might need.
What else? Okay, so some other expectations. Just talking about like based on the things that we expected and what's actually true here in Mexico, like will we stay longer? Will we stay in Merida? Because there is other places outside of here, like in Mexico. Mexico is beautiful, it's big, and you can get anything you want here in Mexico. Or will we go to another country? So I think to start it off, like expectation wise, just coming here as a whole, I expected to be able to, disconnect and really just like be and kind of like form like my own relationship, not just with like English speaking people, like with other people, like with locals, like really like just build like these genuine relationships with people that I normally wouldn't be able to, do that with, like versus like where we lived before. And then also just having that time like with myself to just really disconnect myself and like as a family to really disconnect. And I think like we have honestly been able to do that like perfectly. Like we've been able to, like when we want to, we could just be with our family. There's lots of places and things that I can do when I just want my alone time. I've been able to do more self-care, like, massages. I can do a massage once a week if I wanted to, because you can go and get a 60-minute massage for like $30 or $25. Or I got one the other day that was like $15 or $20 for an hour massage. So, and I can do like my nails and pedicure and have a nanny, that helps out with the kids, and have a housekeeper that helps clean the house. So it allowed us all to just really like kind of focus on family and focus on ourselves and each other. So that expectation, I'm very satisfied with that. And that's like a check as to like why I would for sure stay in Mexico, like as a whole, just Mexico in general. Like that checked my box. What's one of yours?
One thing that checked my box was the ease to enjoy things, and I'm gonna speak specifically about marriage. So there's always stuff going on. There's more stuff going on now that the COVID restrictions are lifting up, and it's really family friendly. So if you have a family, I think we talked about this one time in other videos. Like if you go to a restaurant, like we did this today. We went to a restaurant and we did some work while the kids played in the play area. And a lot of times the stuff is at no additional cost. Like if you buy the food, it's cool. And also it checked my box in terms of the sense of peace that I feel.
No, I was responding to the comment.
I thought she was responding to me.
No.
Okay, I'm doing good.
Yeah, go ahead.
But those two things, just whenever it comes to family,
like
I think it's real easy to.
Yeah, I definitely agree
real
with
easy
that.
to make it happen.
Today was amazing. I got to work on my website while the kids was literally, and it's not like a small play area in the restaurant. I'm talking about big. They have a mini movie theater with a big TV, and then like a big jungle gym with a big slide, and they have attendants there that help watch the kids and help the smaller kids get on the thing. So look, speaking of, we forgot the tip for today. But anyways, so yeah, it's really nice. Like that's another check box. So one thing maybe that Mexico hasn't met your expectation in, can you think of that?
Give me a minute. That's a good question.
For me, I would say, so when we lived in Florida, I was able to like go to the beach or go somewhere like early in the morning and whatever, and kind of like truly disconnect. I'm talking about no people around, no people bothering you. I think sometimes in Mexico, when I think about going somewhere or doing something, I don't, because it's like very overstimulating sometimes. You always have people like trying to talk to you or sell you stuff, or just it's like I think like that's the one thing, like I haven't found like a true place that I can really go, because I love the water, like by the beach, and just disconnect without being
Well, if you go to the other side of
it's still the same.
You think so?
It's still a lot of people. Like it's always people. So just like I just feel like that little piece, which I'm sure that's somewhere somebody can tell me where to go, and I'm still searching for that. But as of now, I have not found that place that I can like go by the water and be like undisturbed. And sometimes I just really want to go, and I'm like, Lord, no, I don't want to go, because somebody gonna try to sell me something every 3 minutes or whatever. I mean, you could do that at a beach club, but even at a beach club, like people like, are you okay? Do you need something? You want something? And they're helpful, but I just like to disconnect. I just saw a video about another Instagram saying she had the same experience in Mexico. Yeah, so it's like it's a little overwhelming when you really and truly just want to like be somewhere and just be quiet, So that's one thing, and that's not like a big thing, but that is one thing that's kind of important to me, because I do enjoy, going by the water and disconnecting and writing and just being.
For me, I can't really think of anything that really falls into that category, to be honest, because I didn't really come here with expectations, and I'm always accustomed to, because I lived overseas before, like whenever I was super young. And I learned then, like, whenever you go to a new place, sort of not having expectations, just trying to find the things that the way that the culture kind of aligns with like what you want and kind of finding the positives and all in the new culture, in the new place that you're in. So I really wasn't let down by anything.
Yes, it is. It really is. Like for real, for real.
So I can.
But like even not even speaking on expectations though, just like something that you feel like maybe okay, go. He thought of something, y'all.
I was saying, man, with the family of five, one thing that and this is dealing with restaurants again, but no refills in most places that you go to.
Oh yeah.
So that's like one thing. But I was used to that because I lived in Europe one time, so that was the case over there. But I was there by myself.
Instead of said that's a good way to think. It is
already.
But me, I got expectations.
Well, what else? But
I think that's good to know. People don't say that. A lot of restaurants you do not get refills. So you paying like $2, $3, sometimes $1, but like $2, $3 for a drink or fresh drink. That's a good thing too. You get fresh drinks. Yeah, it's like handmade. It's like for real. It's not like fake stuff. The fake stuff only gonna cost you $1. But let's say you're paying $2 or $3 because we love lemonadas and anahadas. You don't get a refill. Like that's it. If you want another one, you gotta pay for another one. I think we got really accustomed in the US to like, it's like unlimited. You pay your $2, $3 and it's unlimited. But that is not the case here. And the kids drink their drink and they like, can we get another one? We're like, who about to spend like $10, $15 worth of drinks so we can go to the OXXO. But anyway, so that is something if you didn't know, now you know. Judy said, as a single mom, that was helpful. Yeah, so as a single mom, listen, as long as you, I don't know your budget or your plan, but you'll be able to most likely afford a nanny or either like even a babysitter for times that you do want to go out, even if you don't have a full-time nanny. And nanny/babysitters, depending on their experience level, you're going to pay from 70 pesos to about like 100 pesos an hour. So that's $3.50 to $5 an hour. So that just frees up like your life, your worry, your whatever when you find somebody that you really can depend on. And going to restaurants, sometimes they'll bring you iPads or, they'll have a little person with coloring books or they will have like the full-blown like play areas. So yes, you winning. You come here as a single parent, you winning, period. Like your life just went up all the way, like times 20. So another thing, like in Mexico, like as far as like expectations, I think that my expectations, and I don't know why, because I've been to like even Central American countries before, but I just thought like the fruits and vegetables are fresh, but they like real fresh. I'm talking about like they don't be putting no pesticides or nothing in there. So it is a chance, even with like pasta and rice and stuff like that, you can tell it's so natural, but it's so natural that you have to look out for insects.
They don't have the same preservatives.
Yeah, so not even preservatives, it's the like pesticides and stuff that kill the bugs. They don't put other chemicals in there. So sometimes it's really challenging for me to eat like the fruits and vegetables and stuff because I'm like, is this clean? Or somebody sent us a picture one time, they cut open an orange and it had worms coming out. You know what I'm saying? I was like,
but that's not the norm though.
But if you buy it from the fruterias and the small local places, that's something that you have to think about. So, and me being the person I am, I'm just already like, I don't know what to call it. Like I'm a real, like if it's a little mold on something, throw it away. I'm not the person that cut around the mold, or if it's past the expiration date, I don't want it.
Cutting around the mold.
Like, yeah, I don't do anything past the expiration date. So that's just something that, like, to me, I had to really, I'm still getting used to. Like, I still buy things from the fruiteria, but it's just like certain things. Like some stuff, like strawberries, because I grew strawberries before. I won't buy those from there because those wouldn't grow because I didn't use pesticides and animals was eating those up. So anyways, or insects and birds and stuff. So yeah, so that's one thing. Like for me, I just thought like bunches, fruit, because they look beautiful. Vegetables, eat it all, eat so much, but it's like you do have to be careful, because I opened up a pack of pasta one time and I didn't even see nothing in there. I put them in a pot, and as I'm boiling, I was like stirring, like.
I think I used rice one time and had like some worms in there. I didn't know it. You remember that rice?
Oh, you use it?
You got that from Costco.
Yeah, that's the thing. So with the pasta, let me finish my pasta story. With the pasta, I was stirring. I was like, "What is this like black stuff in there?" I'm like, "What is this?" But I seasoned my water with pasta, so I kept thinking like maybe it's a seasoning. So then I went and looked in the packaging. It was bugs all
like
in there.
Wheat flies or something.
I don't know what kind of insects it was, but it was insects in the pasta. So it's just like things like that you just really have to like really double and triple check your things. And rice, I pulled up in rice one time, and it had maggots in there, and it's the same color as rice, but just so happened I was scooped up because I have a little scooper, and I was like, is that something standing up in there? And I was like, oh Lord, no. But that time I actually tried to buy an organic rice, and it had maggots in there. So it's just like trying to be like super healthy, you just got to be a little bit extra cautious.
I think one of those things along the lines of what we're talking about, like things that I kind of should have expected but didn't expect, is a lot of administrative things in Mexico. It moves a lot slower than what we're used to in the States. So one example is if you are going for your visa, like you're coming on. One example of what we had, like we came back and we had a little bit of issue. We had an appointment set, like September 7th, let's say, but something went wrong because you had to do it manually in terms of like what we were trying to do, what we needed to do. But we couldn't get another appointment until like a month later. It was a minute. Yeah. So coming from the States, if it comes to administrative things or governmental things really move fast because it's just in the computer and it's done. But over here, that's something that you really have to consider whenever you're doing things like that and plan for, because if it was a situation where we waited, like whenever you come back to get your visa, you get 90 days, 60 days. Do it? Yeah, whenever you come back from the States.
You have to have your appointment within like 30 days.
30 days. So if we would have waited like another few weeks, then we kind of would have been pushing it in a sense. So that's just one thing to think about whenever it comes to doing things like visas or any other administrative things in Mexico, is that just plan extra time for it in case something goes wrong.
Yeah, because for us, like in the U.S., the issue that we had, somebody would have been like, oh, just go and pay this or fix this and come back with the right amount and it's okay. And the issue is we had overpaid, especially if you overpay in the U.S. They're like, okay, like whatever, we'll figure it out. But we had overpaid, and they was like, no, if it's not this exact amount, you gotta leave. You only get a 30-minute appointment. Your appointment time is up. You gotta make another appointment. So that's just something to really know. Like if you hiring somebody and working with somebody, make sure like they're on that P's and Q's. Even yourself, like triple check, double check everything. Because if you finally get to the point where you get an appointment, just gotta make sure you're ready, or they're gonna be like, okay, no, we don't have time. Reschedule. We'll see you when we see you, type thing. So that's something to know. For income, I've taught a brother before, but the market doesn't look like what I'm used to pay wise. So we were just telling somebody if they had I don't know if you were here and I said this, but if they had an apartment that they were renting that cost $500, how much they would need, like just to cover the apartment and deposits and to pay for the contract, would be $1,750. So $1,750 they would need like just for that. So that can kind of like help you out as far as like, just knowing that like if you had a $500 apartment or house, whatever, you would need $1,750 like just upfront to pay for that.
And then as far as like getting a job and making income, a lot of people do like online teaching with those with various companies. Or they keep their jobs from the States.
And
work remote. So those are the main two ways that we see people make money. Some people over here, they even start businesses. And
start
businesses here. One way to avoid the visa is to just, I don't want to give out crazy advice, but
no, let's not.
I'm not gonna say that.
Consult an attorney.
Yeah, talk to an attorney.
Because I mean, it's ways to get around it. You can talk to people or follow people YouTube that have actually, started businesses here, like legit businesses, storefront businesses, or like people who are selling different things or hosting events or doing things. Like it's ways around it, but I would say that I did. Sorry, I appreciate that. Somebody did say, well, our attorney or old attorney, whatever, that helped us before, she did tell me if the money, and this her words, not mine, because I asked her, if we ever decided to do something or make money, she was like, if it's not going in pesos or into a Mexican account, if it's going in a U.S. account, Mexico don't have anything to do with that. So,
and that's if you're trying to do like the entrepreneurship type route.
Yeah,
if you're gonna work in Mexico, you need to get the work visa.
Mm-hmm. But like Gigi said, minimum wage is like, I don't know if that's gonna do it for your lifestyle, because we know someone told us that their rent for their place was like 3,000 pesos a month. Like somebody we know that's a local, which is like $150. So that how they live, you probably not going to be used to that living, so you wouldn't.
And if you don't speak Spanish,
so you wouldn't most likely work on that the local pay scale. Can foreigners own property? Yep, you sure can, with nothing, but as long as you got the cash money. Literally, as long as you got the cash money, you have an attorney on your side, that's going to guide you through and make sure you don't get taken advantage of. You can own property without a residency. Any other questions? Let's see. Some other expectations. I think in general, just speaking, Mexico as a whole, from our experience, Mexico checks a lot of boxes for yes for me. It does check some, I wouldn't even call them no's, I would call them ands, like ands.
I don't think there's any no's.
It's like no, straight up no's, but it is some like, and this okay. And that's just learning the different customs and how people handle things. Even like when you rent a house, like Terrell said, the difference is you rent a house, it's basically like you own the house, like you're responsible. Some break, if it's not like he said, a structural thing, then what was that about that? I can watch the replay. Oh, okay, I'll answer that. We can answer that question. But yeah, the structural things, but outside of that, like you are responsible. It's like it's your house. Like it's not like the US, which I know the property owners appreciate. They don't have to worry about a lot of things, but that is kind of an and to me, because it leaves like this gray area where you do feel like, okay, who gonna fix this? Like you or me?
And that's where that contract comes into play. Yeah, like making sure that if it's anything great, you know about it. One thing that somebody highlighted whenever we signed our last contract was, if a hurricane occurs and damage happens, like who's responsible for that? That was a great question. Yeah. And we ended up working it out in our favor.
Yeah, because we we're not responsible for anything. But if you sometimes you're gonna enter in these agreements with people who they just not the best people, they're not the best property owners, and they're just thinking about themselves. And they're like, if they can get away with you as a foreigner,
first off, not being informed.
Yeah, you as a foreigner who don't know the rules, if they can get away with you paying it, they will. And I think that's the end to me. It's like just not knowing who you are really going to enter an agreement with when it comes to like a big purchase, like renting a house. You do have to put a lot of money up front. And people are really put on this face of like, oh my God, I'm so amazing. And then you sign that dotted line, then they can just flip and turn into somebody different. So that's the and to me. Luckily,
but if you do good business, a lot of this stuff you can have in black and white. Yeah. So I'm a firm believer. If it's not in black and white, it's not true.
Yeah, but again, I mean,
but one pro to that is, unlike the States, you can leave the house anytime.
But without your money.
But you're gonna lose your deposit. But if it's something that's real terrible, or
Yeah, it's not gonna go on your credit score. It's not gonna prevent you from. I mean, unless they know a lot of people or the realtor knows a lot of people. Like, it's not gonna like prevent you from moving to another place or anything. So that is the good thing. Like, if you do end up in that situation, you're like, look, I'm done with this. You could just exit. Like, you're gonna lose your money, but again, it's not gonna go on your credit report like in the US, and then they're gonna be like, we're not putting you in here because I see this. No, it's none of that.
Right.
I want to answer this question.
You said something about the heat. Well, we're asking how do we like merit her overall at the end,
I know.
but she said something about the heat.
Yeah, so I know the heat is a concern. Yeah, the heat not that bad. It's okay. You just gotta learn when to move around. Like the whole like moving around at like 12, 1, 2, 3 o'clock, that's over with.
In my opinion, that's only for like a few months out the year where it's real like super, super hot.
Yeah.
During the middle of the day.
But then ain't nobody out anyway. You're gonna be the only one out. You're gonna be the only one somewhere. You're gonna be like, because we did that when we first got here. We like, it's nobody here. And then we would go out at nighttime. Everybody was out. And it felt so good. But mosquitoes, that's a real deal too. You're gonna need some good mosquitoes.
They're not super crazy, but yeah, you need some spray.
They're crazy.
But yeah, as long as you don't go out during that window, like 10 and like
11, 12 to like 4, 5.
Yeah, let the sun start going down. You'll be straight. It's not that bad.
Is the public transportation good? Walkable neighborhoods. There are some walkable neighborhoods and places. It depends on what area you live in. Public transportation. We don't use public transportation.
We mainly use
like Uber and things like that.
Uber,
but
DD,
from like our nanny and like housekeeper that did use the public transportation, it's certain times of the year where it's just like unpredictable. It might take them like sometimes they be like, look, I was on this bus like 3 hours because of traffic, or sometimes the bus wouldn't come or it would come super late. So I think it's just very unpredictable.
Another thing, speaking of bug spray, another thing that's really expensive here is sunscreen.
Well, the spray kind.
The spray kind.
The kind that you don't want to use.
The lotion. The lotion one. It makes you white.
Like, you don't really want that. But the spray kind, yeah, it's going to run you about like 15 or more. But maybe that's how much sunscreen costs now in the U.S. We just don't know. But when we used to buy it, wasn't that expensive.
Back in our day.
Let's see.
So, yeah, with the public transportation, just to close, like put a button on that question, most people use
Uber. Oh, yeah.
InDriver or DD.
And the reason is because, like, yeah, it might cost like 10 pesos, just like about 50, 60 cents on a bus. But for Uber, it's only going to be like $2 or $3, depending on where you're going. But for most of the parts, and if it's not like a high time where a lot of people are traveling around, you're only going to pay $2 or $3. Up to like $4, maybe $5. Sometimes, like rarely $5 to get like anywhere. We talking about like 20-minute, 25-minute trips. So that's why a lot of people go with Uber. Do you have favorite neighborhood areas that you recommend to live? Also, what would you suggest to a new person to bring to Mexico that you didn't when you first moved?
Favorite neighborhoods.
Well, while we thinking about that, the things that we wish you would have brought more of that we ended up bringing when we went back, towels. Quality towels, especially like dry out towels. You can find them, but you're gonna be paying like $20 for like a so-so towel, or $10 for like a towel that's hard. So quality towels, that's the one thing we packed up suitcases with. I left stuff I didn't even know I left because I was trying to bring like towels, a lot of towels, sheets. But go ahead.
I was gonna say some cosmetics are more expensive than. Like for me, I like to use witch hazel to even my skin, whatever. A little beauty tip, but it's like some of them are like $10 a bottle.
Yeah. I was gonna say you keep cutting me off.
I didn't know I cut you off. I thought it was coming in.
I forgot what I was gonna say. What was I saying?
You were saying sheets.
Oh yeah. So you know you cut me off. Well,
no, you said sheets.
The sheets. You can order those from Amazon though, depending on what quality you like. But the sheets that you're gonna find, like in most places, garbage. Unless you spend a lot of money. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying you can't find those things. I'm saying that you gonna pay like double or whatever for the same things you could just bring from the US.
I want to say for men, I know we forget about my men out there. I mentioned it before, but if you have a size, if your foot is bigger than
like
11 or 11 and a half, 12, and they start getting to that range, like it's kind of hard to find shoes. Like they don't carry shoes that size.
Even for women too, though, because sometimes I wear like in between the 8.5 and 9, and my foot is considered big here. So if you like a 9 and up, same thing with the shoes. You gotta bring you some shoes. I ordered. Did I get that here? Or did my mama bring it? I can't remember. I ordered some sandals from Amazon, but now that I think about it, my mama I might have got it shipped in the US. So yeah, if you a 9 and up, you're gonna have to go shoe shopping. Or you could go to like Mexico City or somewhere like that to travel, because Mexico City flights are cheap. So if you get here and you really need something, you can go like to a bigger city and find it. But like speaking,
I finally found a spot where I was able to buy. They had like shoes my size. What store was that? I want to say the store. It was in the mall, Liverpool.
But that was the Liverpool in Isla or
no, it wasn't. It was
Grand
the one
Plaza. No, that's not Grand Plaza.
Grand Plaza. The Harbor, not the Harbor.
Too many malls. Okay, so that's a good thing, right? We got a lot of malls.
What is the name of that mall? The one with the skating rink inside.
Yeah.
I can't think of it.
What is the name of that mall? Hold on.
She'll find out the name of the mall. But as far as anything else you think people should bring before they come? Yes, food, like seasoning wise. Probably hit somebody up in one of the groups to see, like, hey, do they have jerk seasoning or do they have Old Bay? Gallerias. That's the mall.
The Gallerias. The Liverpool and Gallerias mall had size 12 shoes, 12 and a half.
Oh, and for females, if you like having the extensions in your hair.
Oh yeah, you gotta bring your own hair. If you try to order it from like Amazon or something, sometimes most of the stuff is not even available to ship here. I think because a lot of stuff comes from China, and I don't think they really take stuff from China here.
You gotta bring your own bundles.
Yeah, you gotta bring your own hair, your own wigs, your own Marley hair, whatever it is. You gotta bring it or have somebody else to bring it in. But
just leave it like I did. Leave it in the States.
Okay. Anyways, well, so that's another thing. What else will we have brought? I probably would have brought more like spoons and forks, like the set, like the real. Because I see a lot of places that are like individual, or if I see a set, it's like $40. I probably seen one that was kind of cheap, but it was literally like cheaply made. So we did end up bringing our own cutlery set. So that's something that we actually brought, and I think you should too. It's heavy, so put it in your carry-on, but we brought that because you're not gonna find quality, or it's just gonna cost you a lot of money.
A lot of times, like electronics, like what do you call those things? Air fryers or things like that are gonna cost a little more here.
Yeah, but you can get that from Amazon, so that's no biggie. Yeah. And it's the same price on Amazon. But if you buy like air fryers and different stuff in person, depending on the brand you like, we like Ninja. So actually, if you here or coming here in Chedraui, just know any Ninja items in Chedraui, which is Chedraui is like a grocery store, but it's kind of like a super Walmart. They only serve, Lord. They only sell resale items, or not resale. I think it's, what is it called? Refurbished Ninja items. So don't do that. Just go to Amazon and buy it. That's what I ended up doing. I said, really? She told me that? I had to pull out Google Translate to make sure I heard her right. And the stuff was more expensive. So I was like, and it's refurbished. But yeah, so just know that.
Anything else?
Any other questions?
Well, you don't have anything else about what to bring, like your favorite neighborhoods?
Oh yeah. My favorite neighborhood would be Monte de Ame, and which Monte de Ame is like a lot of things. Monte Cristo. This is all areas in the north, by the way. What else?
Some Some people like
It's
Central.
my favorite area. Some people like Central, but those are my favorite areas. It's just like the northeast side of town because we have like the malls, the nice Walmarts, the nice things, the nice like things that we like accustomed to.
And then I mean, just going outside the circle, you could probably find cheaper places, but outside there, it's like building up. So it's sort of like the suburbs, if you will. Like it's sort of
that's a good area though, like Cholula and Concal, Temazon Norte. Those are three areas that you can get like a lot of bang for your buck. I'm talking about big, nice houses or things. But when it comes to like food delivery, your choice is gonna be limited. And when it comes to like Ubers, you may or might get in an area where Uber comes fast or they always cancel on you. And then you really just need your own car to live out in those places. You can do it without a car.
You can do it with Uber,
but you just don't know how it's gonna go. If you ever need to be somewhere,
your wait times, people may cancel on you, and so it's unpredictable. But you can do it. But you'll probably have to give yourself a little lead time.
But if you do decide to go in those places, go out there and try to try Uber Eats, try Rappi, see what's available, see how the internet is. If you're looking at a house outside of Federico, check the internet at the house. Say, hey, can I connect to your Wi-Fi? And see how fast that Wi-Fi is running, because it might be really slow. And that's something that you really want to know before you move to a place, is how the Wi-Fi is working. So connect your phone to their Wi-Fi and see how it is if you're looking at a house that you're thinking about buying. I have locks all self-maintained. That's good because a lot of people here can't do that. They're looking for people. And there's a couple of people that know how to maintain locks here.
If you know how to do locks, you can
come here.
You can help out a lot. You can come up.
How do you guys feel people come there with locals? Me and a black woman have expensive pictures of touching. They always like at first they always used to slide in like touching Naj hair or now hair, really Naj. But I've also seen them do it to like other like local kids. So I think it's like a thing. But also with Naj, like I had this one lady, and I think this is the one time. And a lot of times it's like the not older, but like mid to older locals. And, they're really big on respect here. So I try to be like gentle, but my nanny told me what to say, like no te gusta. Like he doesn't like that. So, or she or he, they don't like that. No te gusta. So if you say that, they'll be like, oh, okay. So I finally learned that. Like if you have a child and you see somebody like going to touch her, say no te gusta. And they'll respect that because they're like, oh, the kid doesn't like that. But at first, like this one lady, she literally was on Naj like this, like, oh, hermoso, muy guapo. I was like, lady. I said no, but my nanny was with me that day, I think. And she was like, no te gusta, no. And she said, oh, I'm so sorry. And
but
I was like,
it's not in an offensive way.
It's like admiration.
It's like a, I guess you can say like a grandparent grabbing your cheeks. Yeah. But of course, culturally, that's kind of like, oh wait, personal space.
Don't touch them. Don't do that. Especially like in the height of COVID. I was like, I don't even know if I should say that, but in the height of the C word, I really was like, keep your hands to yourself. Like, we don't know where your hands, man. Don't touch my kids. And for us, like they don't really bother us. I have had people like when I have my hair out, they're like,
that's a big.
They're like, oh my God, they're going. I'm like,
I never had anybody touch my hair or my beard or anything like that.
Yeah. Anyways, good for you. Anyways, it's an insider. But honestly, the only time all experience has been good. You meet bad people. That's just bad people. But as far as like feeling like somebody was prejudiced, I haven't felt that not one time in Mexico. Like anywhere I've been, I have not felt that. I have felt like here in Merida, because I feel like, which now I don't know, I'm seeing the hoochies come out, the hoochie daddy shorts, hoochie mama shorts. But anyways, when I first
somebody send me some hoochie daddy shorts.
When I first got here, I wear my little shorts and stuff, and people look at me like,
Yeah, no.
Where are you coming from? Like, why are you dressing like that? But I see it more now. But I think people from other parts of Mexico have moved here too. And now I see it more, but like
they be having the cheeks out.
Yeah, a year and a half ago. Oh, dang, I need to charge this on my laptop. Where is my charger on my laptop? Hold on, y'all.
It should be enough time. Have enough time before you.
Okay. Hopefully, how much percent do I have?
10%.
Okay. So we gotta But yeah, so I would get them looks like that. Like, where you come from? What you wearing? What you doing? Even our
been
first
in your mind,
no, it wasn't. Even our first housekeeper was like, "You're a mother. You shouldn't dress like that." I was like, don't do that. Like, don't do that. Like, I want to wear this. I can. I look good. I want to wear this. So, anyways, but so that was the thing. But other than that, no problems.
Never any bad energy though. On anything.
Other than just bad people. You just have bad people with bad energy. And I mean, that's anywhere you go. But it wasn't like directed at me because of anything in particular. It's just them. What
so I
else?
guess we can answer I guess we can answer that last question about
just the plans.
How do we rate married?
Oh, okay, Gigi. I mean, you start locks too. Because I really want to go ahead and do it for real. But I think I need some lock extensions.
You want to start your lock journey.
And thanks for sharing that expansion. Thanks. Thank you for the tip. I know, right?
So how would you rate on a scale of 1 to 10?
You talking to me?
Yeah, okay. I'm talking to anybody else. So you're the only one here with me.
Yeah,
nobody else is gonna talk. But anyway, on a scale from 1 to 10, like what would you rate married?
Just as a whole.
Everything, quality of life, overall experience.
Probably like 8.5. Probably 8.5. 8.5. What about you?
I probably rated low key, no cap. I probably rated about a 9, man.
Yeah, it's 8.5.
And just to give you like ideas, like I've lived in Germany. I've lived in a few other places, so I have things to compare it to, like outside of the United States. And yeah, I rated about a 9 out of 10.
So yeah, so the question goes, so if that's the case, why would we think about going somewhere else? And I think that Nudge.
Go ahead.
Where you going, Nudge? So I think that y'all say hey to Nudge. Hey Nudge. But I think that the reason why we are even like entertaining the idea. Yes, you will like it. You will like it. We love it here. The only reason we are entertaining the idea of moving somewhere else is just because, you experience things or something. You're like, okay, now what else is out there? Like, what else haven't I seen? Haven't I done? No, that's go get the laptop charger, so go back upstairs and my shit on. So yeah, I think that's like the main thing, and that's really it. It's not anything else. I think another thing is like, everywhere you go, you meet different type of people and different things. But overall, like the people we encounter, the expats we encounter has been amazing. But I'm not even gonna say what I was gonna say. But yeah, so just I ain't even gonna say what I was gonna say. I think that just as a general is just making sure, hey fam, where you come from? I was looking for you. I was wondering where you were. But I think as a whole, it's just to like when you go to a place, this is my advice, just my personal advice. When you go to a new place, I know that you're really excited, you want to meet a lot of like different people, especially like in the expat community. You really want to connect, but just don't lose like your sense of like
why you
came and being intentional about I'm trying to be on the thing. And don't just your sense of being intentional about the type of people that you want to be around. Hold on, y'all. There we go. Just the type of get out the video, my bad. The type of people that you want to be around and that you're aligned to. Make sure that you're connecting with people that you have things in common with. I think that that's very important, and it's very easy to just just like, oh my God, it's a good time. We all here, and we all have maybe 1-2 things in common. We Black, and we got a family here, or we moved to a different place. But just don't forget that, just be intentional about who you want to connect with, so that you can make sure your experience continues to be a great experience, and that you get what you came here for. And the only way to do that is just to remain, just intentional, really intentional. Thank you. But yeah, so just do that, and you will have like the best experience ever if you do that and keep an open mind. And and if y'all need tips about what should I look for, like when we signing for a house, so that we don't get taken advantage of, like let us know. We can make a video about that and give it to you. That way you can go, because your goal is to have a good experience. And the only way to have a good experience is to do good business and to
plan, do good business, and be intentional
in all areas. And if you do that, you're gonna be straight. And that's my goal, like, of having this channel and talking to y'all, is making sure like y'all have the best experience when you move to Mexico.
One thing that we're gonna start for real this time, one thing that we're gonna start doing is the price for what?
For the temporary residency. I'm gonna look it up.
We're gonna start doing we plan on doing this, like letting people call in.
Oh yeah.
So that we can answer questions based on what we know, so that we can help out that person, and also other people who may have those questions, or who haven't thought of that situation or that question before. So
yeah. So
I wonder if Sunday's a good day.
Yeah, what's a good day that y'all like, us to go live? And we're working on other things to like bring people up so y'all can video chat with us and do different things. So talking about the temporary residency, as I'm going through the message, because I'm looking through old messages, just know if your name is different on your birth certificate than it is on your passport or whatever, like you got married. Yeah, StreamYard, that's what we're working on, connecting that. He told me about it today. But just know that you're gonna have to pay $50 USD to go to where did I go? To the consulate? Yeah, to the consulate, and get a stamp showing that like you're the same person. So if you got married and your birth certificate is different than your name on your passport and whatever official document, before you get your temporary residency, you're gonna have to go to the consulate, get an appointment, and get that stamp. And that's 50 USD. And let me go to the price, because I know I was asked that.
While she's looking up that, let me see. They do have schools here. We do homeschool, so we let the kids go to school online. We do it like that, and we did it like that for the flexibility. But next year we may look at putting them in one of the local schools. So they have some bilingual schools, some Montessori's, and things like that that we may look into doing. So there's different options whenever it comes to school for K through 12.
Okay, so first thing, let's just go, because I'm looking at all the messages. So all this is about temporary residency and different things. You're gonna have to get your documents translated. If you have to come over here and you have, what do we have to get translated? A birth certificate. That costs 50 USD per page.
What kind of paper is that?
All your birth certificates are gonna need to be apostilled, so you can get that through wherever you order copies of your birth certificate at your city. In your state. They all have to be apostille to be valid in Mexico. So if you bring your U.S. birth certificate here, if it doesn't have that apostille stamp saying that it's verified and like whatever, they're not gonna accept it. All documents, not just birth certificates, marriage certificates, any official document has to be apostille. And I'm looking for the price.
And that's the truth. When did you do this? September.
Yeah, this is September of last year.
September 2021.
Yeah, those prices are standard, but the prices I'm gonna tell you for
this is just giving you an idea.
Yes.
They may be more or less now. So don't get mad at us. For real, what kind of paper is that? You said $50 a page.
I know. When I saw that, I was like, but you can find somebody else maybe for cheaper, but they pretty much that's like a quick come up. And to translate, I can scan this in Google Drive and translate this. How long is the temp residency? So if you do it the normal way, you pay. I mean, not pay.
How long?
It's 1 year first, and then after your 1 year, you don't have to like re-verify like your financial statements or anything. You just go there, take your passport, your old card, get the appointment, and then you can renew for 3 more years. And after you've been a temporary resident for 4 years, you automatically get permanent. It's the same thing. You gotta get an appointment and all of that, but you don't have to keep recertifying and showing financials after the first time. Now, as of now, I don't know if it's gonna change, but if you do the overstay program, which I think is still going on, where you stay over your 6 months and then you can apply for residency, then you can pay for the 4 years up front. And that cost is, let me see, for 4 years up front.
And remember, these prices are changing
next year, right?
Just check. This is just giving you this is giving you a ballpark number.
I'm still scrolling. So many messages. I'm going now.
And yeah, African Queen, it can get costly, especially if you don't plan and know all the information that you need to know. Like you can end up paying a lot of money if you're not getting.
But in general, it's not a cheap process. Yeah. It's not a cheap process. Goodness.
Depending on. How much do you think it would be for one of us? How much was it? With everything, probably like 5.
I'm going, y'all. Give me a second because it's so many messages.
Well, it's a 2-step process to get your temporary residency. So we did it in Atlanta. So we started the process in Atlanta. They put something in our passport, but we had to complete the process in country.
So the thing is, we chose when we first did our 6 months and we were like, okay, should we go reset, whatever, what should we do? They were just coming out with that overstay program. So everybody had so many questions and we were like, should we do this program? Should we chance it or should we just do the regular way?
But now they have another way to do it. You can do it in Mexico if you overstay.
But you had to have visit in like 2019 or 2020. Yeah. Like one of the two, I don't know which date, but you had to have visit before in order to even qualify for that program. So to me, it's better to just do it the normal way if you can, qualify the normal way because it's guaranteed. Like it's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Once you pretty much finish the process in the U.S., you can come to Mexico and it's just about paying. It's like formalities after that. You pretty much know you have it.
The experience in Atlanta was we had a good experience. It was pretty seamless. So we had a real good experience.
So I know that every consulate is different, but in Atlanta, the lady was amazing. It was like we didn't have 1 more month of a bank statement or something like that. She let us. She was like, okay, go do this and come back before this time. And, you know, like instead of saying like, all right, you got to do another appointment, she was like, no, go, but come right back. And the stuff is, we had everything laid out. She got the stuff, stamp, took the picture.
It took like 20 minutes for all five of us.
It wasn't hard at all. Like some people say they get there and they change stuff or whatever. Do I recall? Oof.
The income requirements change because the currency rate changes. So make sure, or the minimum wage changes. So make sure you call and like check the whatever consulate you're going to. Make sure that you check to see what the requirements are, like the week of.
But you can go on a consulate website and look. They'll show you the breakdown of like what you need to qualify as for temp or permanent residency, so you can get like the up to date amount.
Yeah.
But how much it costs at the end of last year, if you wanted to do a 4-year residency, it was 9,927 pesos, which is about almost $500 for 4 years. So that means don't forget, you can only do the 4 years up front if you're doing the overstay program. So that's where you pay the 4 years up front, and that cost is like $500 for 4 years, which, you know, you do that breakdown, that's not a bad cost to have your residency for 4 years. For 1 year, I'm getting there. I know she had to tell us.
And then another thing, like once you get your temporary residency, you get to take advantage of some other discounts too, like discounts whenever you go to different parks, or you get to pay local fees whenever it comes to things like that. So in a sense, it kind of pays for itself. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah. How much? Do you remember how much it was? Like I think we ended up paying like $200 for 1 year. Yeah, 1 year was like 200. Unfortunately, it was like 4,000 some pesos. I remember that document because I don't see it right here, but I'm pretty sure it was like 4,000 pesos. So it's like approximately $200 for your 1 year, and that's like per person. It's not one person. Yeah, that's per person. And so just so y'all know, like hearing these numbers is not a cheap process, but it is an investment. Like it's an investment for your family. It's an investment for like your kids in the future. Like once your children make it past those 4 years, or even like if your child don't, but you do, once you get permanent, then you can do the family reunification process, and your children don't have permanent residence because now you do. I mean, granted, you still have to pay, but
it makes it easier.
It makes it easier. But just look at it as an investment. That's how we looked at it. And the price we paid for the actual fees for the attorney to do all of our paperwork for all of our things was 10,000 pesos, which is $500. So yeah, we hired our attorney to help us on this end, and that's what cost us 10,000 pesos for all 5 of us was 10,000 pesos. So basically, $100 per person is what it broke down to.
So she helped us on this end and in Atlanta. No. Not really Atlanta.
She could have. That fee would have included her setting up the appointment in Atlanta. But me being me, I can read Spanish real good. So I just went ahead and found the system and made us appointments myself. Example, what if your spouse makes more money than the other? How does that work? If your spouse makes enough money, like there's a certain amount that they say one person has to make, and each additional person is like an extra whatever amount. So as long as your spouse can qualify, he or she can go and add you onto the like they can qualify you based on how much extra they make over it. So let's just say the baseline is you need to make $4,000 a month. Okay. And for each, these are just random numbers. These are not true numbers. I'm just making up something for an example. But 4,000 a month. Okay, every additional person you need to make an extra $200 a month. So if it's like your spouse, now you need $4,200 a month. If you have a child, $4,400. 2 children, $4,600. Just like that. So that's how it goes. Those are not the numbers Say again, that is not the numbers. I just made those up, but that's how it goes.
And they make the numbers up based on the minimum wage in Mexico. So in December, it's probably going to increase because I'm quite sure with the inflation, the minimum wage is going to go up.
Yeah, if y'all look at what is it, Mexipat's video, Mexipat. Want to say video?
Mexican.
I don't know. I think it's Mexipat, y'all. If y'all look at Mexipat, I think he put something up talking about like there's gonna be a increase in the qualification amount. I think it's in January.
Mexican.
No.
I'm telling you.
It is.
I'll put man.
Oh, that's called Mexican.
I'll put it in the chat.
Mexican. You can add them on there.
Okay, you got it.
Mexican. Wow. Yep, that's it right there. Because I was typing it wrong. That's it, y'all.
Yeah, but he has a lot of good information. Yeah, Monte. Yeah, he has a lot of good information about like the ins and outs of stuff.
Mm-hmm. So he's very like he puts all the information together, current information together. And I know he recently dropped something that was showing the current amounts. I just thought about that. But based on that, so that's what we paid. So we paid, just to semi recap, for 1 year it was about $200 USD per person. Back when we did it, to pay the attorney $500 for the whole process, for the whole family. That's for five people. For one person, she said
a whole bunch of people.
She said she usually charges $200 per person though, if it's one person, but for a family it was 10,000 pesos, which is $500. And then what else did we have to pay? It was like a separate fee that was like $60 each as well, and they got paid like straight to the government, like a document fee or something like that. So it adds up, but it's worth it. Like we was like, this is an investment. This is an investment for our family. If this is something you want to do, and our goal is to get the permanent residency.
It's definitely less stress to maneuver.
Yes.
If you stay longer than 6 months, then there's only 2 programs. You have the traditional way where you go back to the States, start the process, and finish it in Mexico. And then you have the overstay program. Those are like the 2 main ones.
That's the 2 programs. But like we were saying,
the family reunification.
Yeah, like if somebody like qualifies. So let's just say if Terrell would have went and he would have qualified for whatever permanent residency, he could have came back here in Mexico. Once he finished his process, got his card, he could have added all of us up underneath him. But then that means we would have had to have our marriage license, apostille, my birth certificate, all the kids' apostille, all that stuff. If you don't verify that information in the U.S., when you come here, everything has to be apostille.
$50? What is it? $50 a page?
And translated. So that would have been like, look, okay, now we're doing so much. Every person here was born in a different state. Like all the different kids were born in a different state. We were married in different states. So it would have just been too much to try to collect all of that. But that is an option. If one person qualifies in the U.S., completes the process, gets the green card, and just applies for his rest of his family or her family, because a woman can do it, her family on this end. I've seen some single parents do it that way. Like they qualify and then they come over here, because another thing to know as a single parent, when you get to Mexico, if you qualify, you finish your process, you don't need a sign off from anybody else to for your child to get their residency, like temporary or permanent residency. Their father does not have to sign off. You could just get that because you're their parent, and Mexico only needs to see that one parent, and then they automatically get their residency once you pay and get the appointment.
And you already did it with the passport. Yeah. But ADS,
do your business. That's what we chose.
Yeah. Would you recommend driving to Mexico? We know a handful of people that did the drive. I've also heard about a company that has like a convoy that you can ride along with.
Yeah, or they'll Yeah, they'll like lead you.
They'll lead you pretty much.
Like
so
throughout the whole journey.
If you search inside a group, you can find information about that inside of Brothers and Sisters.
We have 5 children that want to deal with multiple. It would definitely. Oh yeah, we were talking about that. So you would need those multiple Ubers, but you can drive. I know somebody who did it like pretty much by herself.
Now we're able to ride in one Uber.
But she has 5 kids.
Oh,
So 7 people.
Ooh,
so that's 2 Ubers. So yeah, that's definitely an option, and people have done it. Multiple people have done it. You just reach out to those people in Brothers and Sisters Merida or any Merida. Are you coming to Merida, right? Merida. Right.
Murder.
I was getting lazy with it, but yeah. So they can tell you about it and tell you like the safe routes to take, or the company that you can hire that can be your guide throughout the process. So yeah. Any other questions that y'all have? We hope that we help somebody throughout this process. So yeah.
People that made the trip.
People made the trip.
I haven't heard any complaints about it.
You just have to make sure you check with if you have a car note. If you have a car note, if you don't, this don't apply to you. But if you have a car note, you have to make sure the person who has the loan, you have your loan through, will allow you to take your car into Mexico. Or if you need like additional insurance on your car before you go, or a different type. So yeah, you just have to check with your loan person first to make sure you're able to actually bring it to Mexico. And notate that after 6 months, you're going to have to take that car back out of Mexico. So you're going to have to make that trip again in 6 months when the time is up. And you cannot have a car as a permanent resident, a U.S. car, but you can have a car as a temporary resident. So for 4 years, if you qualify, you come over here with your car, you can get the permit, pay. Cool, but once you become a permanent resident, your car can no longer stay here. They won't let you register that car.
We brought our car here, so we didn't drive a car from the States. So I went we did that. I don't know what works best for you.
Yeah. So we bought a car because there's different type of cars you can buy, and you don't need a temporary residency, a permanent residency to buy a car, but when it's time to register the car, you have to have a residency to register a car in your name. So just know that. So let's just say you're here and you're working on it, you can buy a car before you get your residency, and you just can't register it until you finish the process. But with cars here, cash money. You gotta have cash. Because you can't get a loan, you can't get credit unless you have permanent residency. But even with that, you have to build up your credit, before, if you want a good rate. And the interest rates, when I'm passing by, they high. So you have to have money. And we use Facebook Marketplace for like everything, to find this house, to find our car. We use Facebook Marketplace. So that's how we bought our car.
And then just mind you, the first 6 months we navigated with the family of 5 in Uber.
Yeah.
And it wasn't too bad.
It sucked because we had to take 2 Ubers then because of
COVID.
C word.
Oh, wow.
They're gonna have a little thing on the thing.
But
because of the C word, we had to take 2 Ubers. Could you start? Yeah, you can start the residency process before you go to Mexico. Absolutely. They don't care if you never visited before. They're just gonna ask you what you're going for. Like, why? Like, what's the point? Was it easy to get Mexican license, or you're not there yet? You don't need a Mexican license to drive a car in Mexico. You can get one if you want to, but you don't have to have one. You don't have to, but we do plan to get one.
Yeah, we're gonna get one.
We plan to get one. I want to do everything, the legit way. Plus, I want to be official. Your girl gonna be a permanent resident in 3 years, so I need to have it all. Okay.
All right.
Any other questions? These are good questions. It's been a good live.
So
I didn't even expect to be on here an hour and a half.
So if you're looking for some people to do things with, like, search the group and then do your research. We don't want to, like I said, things change. So if we recommend somebody, your experience isn't what our experience was. We don't want you like coming looking for us.
Yeah.
Trying to fade us or whatever. So search in the group and do your own research.
But don't get me wrong, because everybody who been here, they know. Like, if y'all send us a DM, somebody asked about that too. Yes, Instagram is in our bio. It's just at the Black Family Experience on Instagram all together. But y'all know, like, if y'all put any questions on our video or in a comment or send me a DM. Somebody even found me, like my personal Instagram, and DM me. We gonna answer back. Somebody gonna answer back. So if you have a question, let us know, and we'll help as much as we can. When it comes to publicly recommending something like on a big platform like YouTube, that's a no-go because we want to keep our reputation and we want to make sure we got y'all, but.
And everybody's situation is unique. Everybody's unique, so we don't want to give out general information that may not apply to everyone.
Yeah.
So hit
the
DM.
Yeah, we got y'all. I hope so too. We'll see though. I mean, yes, man.
Oh yeah. So there's a lot of information in there.
Okay. And again, but you can ask us too. We just not gonna put it all out here. But you can ask us because trust me, we be on it. We have a business.
But yeah, this was a good live. I'm glad to see everyone again.
Terrell, like, what happened? How long?
So like I said, next week we'll be back. Next week we'll do StreamYard. So
closing it out.
Yeah, there's no more questions. I'm hungry too, man.
You hungry? Go ahead. I'll finish.
I'm good. I'll stay till it's over.
But do y'all have any more questions before we dip out? Terrell's close this thing out. That man looked at the time. He said, "Okay, next week." No, we are gonna do this again next week. And we would love.
Yeah, you feel me?
We would love for y'all to join in on the video chat and whatever else we figure out with StreamYard, I think it's called. Whatever we figure out, we hope that y'all are very interactive. Do we know? Yeah, we actually stayed in Playa del Carmen for 3 weeks and multiple trips to the resort that we love there. But I hope so too. Just hit us up so we know. Looking for a bakery. Did we get a cake there?
In Playa?
I can help you. I know. I hosted an event there last year, so I can help you. Just hit me up on Instagram and tell me what you're looking for exactly, and I'll reach out to a couple of people that was helping me with my event to see if they have a good bakery recommendation.
Hit us up in the DM about the birthday cake too. Danique found a real good spot.
But that's in
Merida or
no, that's in Playa del Carmen. Yeah. Okay. Good night. Where can I buy it? Okay. Yes, I got you. I'll try. Well, I'm gonna try to help you out. I'm gonna see. Any other questions, y'all, before y'all leave? I've been enjoying this, but we are going to do this next week. We'll have another topic next week. I don't know what it's going to be yet.
So we're probably going to more
detail.
Yeah,
it's the same IG. He ready to go.
No. I'm saying next week we'll probably go into more detail.
He ready to go.
No. I'm enjoying myself.
Ready to go. Looking at the time, I'm ready to go.
I don't want to hold y'all in class, Sunday.
But no, so we'll do another live next week. I don't know what it's gonna be about. If y'all have any suggestions, y'all can let us know, and we'll do it on that topic. But as far as like after October, when our 1 year is here, will we still be in Merida? We don't know yet. But it's a nice place. Y'all kind of convincing us, like being on this live, so maybe just
thinking out loud
to just stay here. But okay, then that's it. Y'all have a good night. Thank y'all so much for being here.
And also in the chat, we want to start doing like a few short video clips. Let us know some things that you want to see. So
in the chat?
Yeah, in the comments.
Video clips?
Yeah, like going to the grocery store or
you mean like on YouTube, period, not in the chat.
Yeah, YouTube, period. Like doing little 5-minute videos.
Oh yeah. They have YouTube Shorts now. So if y'all have any recommendations for shorts that y'all want us to do, let us know because we want to put together those little clips. Thank you.
Hopefully
I'm
we
excited
see
for
you.
all y'all future, and I hope that we get to meet y'all if it's intentional. Y'all remember the lesson: being intentional, meeting people you got stuff in common with. But yeah, so I can't wait. But I will tell y'all if you thinking about moving here, you for real, like I think you'll love it. I think you will. I know it's not for everybody, but I think you'll love it.
I do. All right, I second that.
All right. Y'all have a good night. You can do a day-to-day regular. Okay. We can do that. All we do is just work and run around kids. But nah, we be out. Okay, I can do that. Your favorite spots, kids' favorite thing. Okay, these good things. It should still be up there, but I'm gonna take a picture just in case.
All right.
Best areas for that's a good one. Best areas
Oh,
for
yeah, we
families.
can
Yeah, I like that
we can
one.
definitely do that. That's a good recommendation. To give you an idea of like what things
Where
look
to
like.
relax. That's good. This is good stuff. I'm taking a picture of all the stuff y'all say.
It said don't leave yet. Man, we ain't going nowhere, man.
We're not leaving for sure. I have an event in November here, like the first week of November. So for sure, we're not leaving before that.
Where to relax.
Yeah,
we can show you like some
Yeah.
spots.
These are good. So we'll do like shorts on those, maybe some actual videos. But we'll try to pop in more and just, show up. I think y'all like the information more than like day trips and stuff like that. So we'll make sure it's like more informative videos. But okay, y'all. Peace. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. We love y'all, fam, and we'll see y'all. Be blessed. Blessed and intentional.
We got to make something up for the outro.
We do.
All right, y'all.
Bye.